Mike Beringer, how are you, my friend?
Benny, I'm doing great. I'm glad we could be catching up today. I am sheltering at home, trying to figure out when we will be going back to the office. Uh, Luckily, it's given me time to spend a little bit, more time with the family. And through technology, we're still able to log in and support Blackstone and all the portfolio companies for their needs.
Yeah, thanks to technology, I get to see your face and talk to you once every 2 weeks since this happened. So,
Yeah, yes.
hey, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. I know you have a ton on your plate right now. So, if you want to start with giving a little bit of a background on yourself, Mike, that'd be great.
Yeah, no problem, Benny. Um, you know, I work at Revantage Corporate Services, so we are kind of the back office for Blackstone's real estate portfolio companies and joint ventures. So we support 10 different asset classes in 6 different portfolio companies, across 3 different fund structures, multiple, more funds than 3, but 3 different fund structures. And Revantage is made up of accounting, tax, treasury, valuations, people and culture, IT, and we also have a process improvement function also. So we were born in 2017, and it was bringing together the back offices of the different portfolio companies where Blackstone had at that time to really bring it all into one place and to try and provide the platform companies in Blackstone with, more streamlined approach and bringing all of their information in one area so they could come to us to help report and to provide the platform companies with the same level of service across every type of asset.
Got it. So, I mean, obviously, you have a big team as the vice president of your title's VP of accounting, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Got it. Okay, cool. With everything that's been going on right now, your industry is one that's been hit definitely. But I mean, I was talking to you before this. I thought it was going to impact you differently, but it seems like accounting has so much work in that industry right now. So, just to clarify to me, but more importantly to everybody else, like how is COVID affecting your industry?
So, I'll kind of take 2 approaches and look at it, right? From the accounting group and just for Vantage, we've been remote for 2 months. We never had that before. So you could work remotely. Our technology was set up to allow everyone to do that. But, over the past 2 months, we've really been out of the office 100%. We have somebody going in a little bit to collect, the mail and get that out to others and to do some necessary items. But in general, everybody's been utilizing Zoom, as we're doing right now, a lot of phone calls, and handling and getting through business that way. So, we've been lucky. We have a really good group of people, and we've been getting the day-to-day work done, and people have been doing what needs to get done to support the companies and support Blackstone. If we start looking kind of at the markets that we work in or the asset types that we work with, there's a wide range of how they've been impacted and then how it impacts our work. So, we have assets, in industrial, which, industrial continues to be one of the hotter asset types in the market right now. And then we have some hospitality assets, which, are being heavily impacted from COVID and the lack of travel and, the lack of, big functions at those hotels. So, that aspect of how it's impacting each of the real estate types is impacting us on different ways from the work aspect. What you're seeing is you're seeing a lot more, cash management that we're having to deal with. We're looking at our cash, we're looking at our AR on a daily basis, where before it was, a weekly or monthly basis. So making sure that we're seeing, when the tenants are paying, what is coming in from the tenants, where we're having to move cash and transfer cash and make sure that, bills are getting paid and those sorts of things. So, there's a lot more focus on that from, the COVID and how it's impacting that. So it's interesting, there's a lot more just day-to-day interaction with Blackstone and the portfolio companies around liquidity.
I thought, just when all this stuff first happened, I thought your industry was going to be affected so bad to the point where there was going to be like major layoffs everywhere in that commercial construction real estate side. But it seems like accounting departments in that industry, especially you guys, are very busy right now, like almost overloaded with more work than before. How do you see that? Like, do you see that being the trend for the rest of this year? And I know none of us know what's going to happen next week, next month, tomorrow. So, but just based on, what's been happening, what do you think about that? Like the accounting department for the companies in your industry?
I think you're going to continue to see, that additional level of work at least for the next few months, right? As you see the focus more on the day-to-day, more on, cash liquidity, more on, tenants and working with tenants on some of the struggles that they're having, that's going to continue. And that's a day-to-day aspect that we're working on with Blackstone and the portfolio companies. You're seeing a little bit of a slowdown in general, right? Just in transactions for everyone out there in the industry. So you're seeing a little bit of a slowdown. So some of the work is shifting, I would say, from, working on, different transactions to more interacting with the platform companies, on the, kind of the tenant side.
Got it.
And the day-to-day accounting.
Okay. So with everything that's going on, I ask this to everyone, what advice do you have for finance leaders in your industry, Mike?
So during this time, one of the biggest things that we've done is really increase communications with our teams and making sure that we are checking in on the different team members, seeing how they're doing, seeing what needs they have, right? One of the biggest needs we had in the beginning was some of the technology pieces, screens. Everybody had a laptop. Revantage and Blackstone has been great. We've set up everybody with laptops as they come in. We've been prepared from that aspect, but some of the other pieces, helping to support whether you needed a keyboard or those sorts of things. So checking in with your employees, seeing how they're doing, physically, mentally, how they're dealing with this and handling the day-to-day. Kind of being, you're having to work with your employees a little bit just because of childcare situations, right? I've got 3 kids who are home. And sometimes you're going to hear them in the background on calls. We've been lucky that they're not on right now. They're upstairs. So a lot of it's been just really being close to your employees, I think would be one of the things that as a leader you want to do, and making sure you're listening to them and trying to work with them to make the best out of this situation while everybody's remote, that you can. And I think we've learned, throughout this process that, people are able to function remotely. And they are able to, get the job done, and people have been very good about being responsive and responsible and getting, their work done. Got it.
Well, sounds good. I really appreciate the time again. I'll post this on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, wherever. But Mike, what's the best way that people can get a hold of you if they have questions or whatever?
Probably the best way would be to reach out on LinkedIn.
Got it.
I have both my cell phone and my email out there. But yeah, if there's any questions or thoughts or just to network and connect, it'd be great.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, Mike is a good friend, and he's a great guy to know. If you have any questions especially in the real estate industry, he's the guy to talk to. And also, if you send him a connection request, instead of doing it random, just say you saw this podcast and that's why you're reaching out.
I appreciate it, Benny, and I'll try to live up to your kind words. I don't know if I'll be able to.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike.
All right, take care.